In FIFA 22, Federico Chiesa was 84 overall with 90 potential. Fast forward just 3 years later and now he is 82 overall with just 82 potential. Today we say Federico Chiesa's career. And of course here he is, started off season number 1 coming in at 82 overall at 26 years of age. So training is crucial for Chiesa to get that overall up. Kicking off the season, and of course we are being used as a substitute up against Ipswich. And it was not a good start for Chiesa as he did come on and we did give away a penalty where we actually got Panenkid, making it 1-1. Later on Chiesa would get a penalty himself, although he did get saved by the keeper. We did get another chance. Chiesa went for an overhead kick, just missing, but the game did finish at 1-1. And Federico Chiesa walked away with just a 6.8 match rating. Not impressing Arne Slot at the minute. Second game of the season, of course, still trying to get into the starting 11 over big name Mo Salah as we come up against Brentford. And Chiesa did get up this wing, whipping to Curtis Jones, almost getting an assist to be fair. But later on, Chiesa did get a penalty, and this time he did manage to place it, Panenkid himself to make it 2-0 for Liverpool, as we did walk away with a 2-0 win, and Federico Chiesa walking away with a nice little 7.2 match rating. Third game of the season, and we are of course still a substitute. It's going to be hard to replace Mo Salah, but we do come up against big rivals Man United, and Chiesa is finally starting to fit into this Liverpool team as Curtis Jones did slot him through, and Chiesa did slot it into the back of the net, making it 1-0 for Liverpool. Unfortunately though, Manchester United did get through later on, getting quite lucky to be fair, passing it back as they did equalise the game at 1-1. Although Diogo Jota did have something to say about that. Nice little bit of play here, passing it into Jota, and Jota smashing it into the back of the net, making it 2-1 for Liverpool in the 87th minute, as we did of course walk away with a 2-1 win. And Federico Chiesa did walk away with a nice 8 match rating. 4 games into the season now, and it has not actually been the best start for Liverpool as they are currently sat in 6th place, and there has been no growth from Chiesa so far. Although to be fair to him, he has been getting involved as he is walking away with 3 goals in 7 appearances. Into the Carabao Cup now, into the round of 16 as we come up against West Brom, and we do get a nice 3-1 win. Into the quarter final as we come up against Brentford, and it is a very close game, although we do go through on penalties, 9-8. Halfway through the season now, and it has not been a good season for Liverpool at all, as they are currently sat in 11th place. Basically the complete opposite to real life. We are of course though into the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, and of course we are still in the FA Cup where we face Blackburn, and the Champions League isn't going the worst but also not the best as we are sat in 10th place. Although Federico Chiesa has had a little bit of a turnaround, no growth in the first month, although the following months after that has been ridiculous as he is now up to an 86 overall, and he has definitely been getting involved, walking away with 9 goals and 3 assists in 31 games, seemingly replacing an aging Mo Salah. Into the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup though now as we come up against Arsenal, and we do get a nice win in the first leg as we beat them 2-1, and we do get a ticket to the final as we managed to beat them 4-2 on an aggregate. And moving of course into the final of the Carabao Cup as we come up against Manchester City, and there was actually only 1 goal in it. It came from a good tackle from Federico Chiesa, which fell perfectly to Darwin Núñez, and he did slot it into the back of the net to make it 1-0, picking up of course the victory for Liverpool as we lift our first trophy with Federico Chiesa. Talking of trophies, if you want one of these bad boys next to your name in the comments, make sure you click the link below. Moving straight on into the Champions League, into the round of 16 as we come up against Atletico Madrid, and we get completely obliterated in the first leg as we get beat 5-2, and unfortunately we do get knocked out in the round of 16 as we lost 7-4 on aggregate. Moving on into the FA Cup, of course again into the round of 16 as we come up against Gillingham, and we do of course beat them 3-1. Into the quarter-finals as we face Leeds United, and it's another win, albeit a close one, beating them 2-1. Into the semi-finals, and we got kind of lucky as we faced Norwich, and we do beat them 1-0. Federico Chiesa scoring, securing another place in another final, and that final was up against Chelsea, and there was again just 1 goal in it. Federico Chiesa with a lovely ball over the top to Darwin Núñez, and yet again Darwin Núñez slotting it into the back of the net. of course picking up the victory for Liverpool and picking up yet another trophy for Federico Chiesa. Finishing the season now, and Liverpool did manage to crawl their way up a little bit as they did finish in 7th place. The Champions League of course did not go very well as we did get knocked out in the round of 16. We did of course manage to win the FA Cup beating Chelsea 1-0, and we did of course manage to win the double as we won the Carabao Cup over Manchester City. And what a season of growth it has been for Federico Chiesa, as he is now up to a 90 overall at just 27 years of age, a +8 this season. And what a good season for Federico Chiesa overall, as he is walking away with 21 goals and 12 assists in 65 games. Maybe he is the perfect replacement for an aging Mo Salah. And starting season number 2, I think we stick on that same route of trying to replace Mo Salah, as season 2 starts off with us staying at Liverpool. And we could be starting off season 2 extremely strong as we have the Community Shield up against Arsenal. And yet again there was just one goal in it, and it was a penalty from Federico Chiesa, planted right into the top hand corner. The keeper was not getting to it, as Liverpool did end up winning 1-0, and we started the season strong by winning yet another trophy. 4 games into the season, and it is a much stronger start for Liverpool, as they are currently sat at the top of the table. And Federico Chiesa is now up to a 91 overall, and he is starting to look ridiculous. And it's been a great start for him, as he is walking away with 7 goals and 1 assist in just 8 games. Into the round of 16 of the Carabao Cup, where we face Aston Villa, and we do manage to beat them 3-2. Into the quarter-final, where we have a very tough game up against Manchester City, and we do manage to get through, beating them thanks to Chiesa. Halfway through the season now, and Liverpool are still leading the way, sat in 1st place. We are of course still in the FA Cup, where we come up against Wolves, and we are of course in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup, where we come up against Manchester United. And the Europa League is also going pretty good, as we are currently sat in 3rd place. Chiesa though just keeps growing, as he is now up to a ridiculous 93 overall, and so far has 17 goals and 4 assists in 32 games. What an insane season so far for Chiesa, and also at the minute leading the way for the Golden Boot of the Premier League. Moving on though, and of course we are into the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup up against United, and we get a nice 2-1 win in the first leg, and we managed to get through to the Carabao Cup final yet again, as we just about got past them, beating them on penalties. Into the final now, and we do come up against Tottenham, and Son did get through, getting a very good chance, but he did go for a chip. Thankfully it was just over, although Chiesa did step up with a penalty, and of course yet again he did slot it home to make it 1-0 for Liverpool, as of course we did manage to win the game at 1-0, as we picked up another trophy for Chiesa. Into the round 16 of the FA Cup, as we go up against Preston, and it was a closer game than I thought, but we did go through, beating them 3-2. Into the quarter-final, as we come up against Luton, and we do manage to get another win, beating them 3-1. Into the semi-final now, and we have a game up against Leicester, and we do manage to beat them 4-1, as Chiesa walks away with a hat-trick. Moving back into the Europa League now, and we are into the round of 16 up against Ghent, and the first game is just a 2-2 draw, and in the second leg though we did completely obliterate them 3-0. Into the quarter-final, as we come up against Benfica, and the first leg is just a 1-1 draw, and thankfully though in the second leg we did get through, beating them 5-4 on aggregate. Into the semi-finals, and we have a big game up against Monaco, and the first leg is just a 2-2 draw. Thankfully though we did manage to get through to the final thanks to another stunning display from Chiesa. Into the FA Cup final now though, as we come up against Manchester United, and we started it extremely strong with Chiesa slotting the ball through to Aitana Bonmatí, and he did put it into the back of the net, of course getting an assist for Chiesa to make it 1-0. Unfortunately later on in the game Bruno Fernandes would step up with a penalty, and he did slot it home. The keeper should have saved it, to be honest, but he did equalise at 1-1. And later on, Bruno Fernandes did get yet another penalty, and of course this time he did slot it home easy. unfortunately, to make it 2-1, as we did actually lose the game to Manchester United. Moving on though, and we are of course in the Europa League final as we have another game up against Tottenham, and it was not the best start for Liverpool as Tottenham whipped in the corner straight to Bentancur, and of course he did score, making it 1-0 for Tottenham. Thankfully though, we did have luck on our side as Chiesa did get through, shooting straight off the defender, but it fouled to Diego Jota, who did slot it home, making it 1-1. And later on in the game, Chiesa would slot it through to Jota yet again into Gakpo, and Gakpo would cut inside, putting it past the keeper, making it 2-1 for Liverpool in the 99th minute. Of course, managing to win the game at 2-1, as of course we do pick up yet another trophy with Federico Chiesa. And we have also managed to win the Premier League, eventually winning it by 6 points over Chelsea, which does of course mean yet another trophy for Federico Chiesa. Of course, winning the Community Shield right at the start up against Arsenal. Unfortunately, losing the FA Cup to Manchester United. Thankfully though, of course, we did win the Europa League up against Tottenham and also the Carabao Cup, as we did of course walk away with a treble this season. Unfortunately, Federico Chiesa did just miss out on the golden boot to Saka, although it has been a ridiculous season of growth for Federico Chiesa, as he is now up to an insane 95 overall, and those stats are just ridiculous. And what a season it has been for Federico Chiesa, of course walking away with the treble with 42 goals and 12 assists in 68 games. Of course, replacing Mo Salah has been a tremendous season for Chiesa. We have of course been called up for Italy for the World Cup, and our first game is up against Finland, and we do start off strong with a nice 2-0 win. Second game is up against Qatar, and it's another win, 2-1. Last game of the group stage as we come up against the Netherlands, and we end strong as we manage to get another win at 1-0. Into the round of 16 as we come up against Poland, and we do get a nice win, 4-1. Into the quarter final, and we have a very tough game up against England, although thankfully we do manage to get through, beating them 2-1. Into the semi-final, and we actually come up against United States, and this one was a little bit easier as we did beat them 3-1. That of course means we are into the final up against Argentina. Alvarez here sorts it through to Garnacho, nice save. Alvarez again on the ball, just dancing around, back to Palacios. Fernandez to Garnacho. Garnacho goes for goal. That's a horrible deflection, and we actually go 1-0 down in just the 16th minute. Argentina on the attack yet again. Fernandez back to Gonzalez into Alvarez. Very good chance. He's done me there. Oh, nice block eventually. Thank goodness for that. Moise Kean on the edge of the box. He's got a chance. Goes for goal. He's forced to save out the keeper. Oh, Argentina on the attack yet again. Alvarez into Garnacho. He's got a very good chance, but what a save that is from the keeper. Nice. Berea over the top to Federico Chiesa. He's got opportunity inside if he's going to use Keane. Moise Kean on the ball. Almost messed it up, but thankfully he's put it into the back of the net to equalise the game. Nice, come on, over the top to Chiesa yet again. He's got a chance here. Federico Chiesa, he's got the man very close to him though. Goes for goal. Just missed. DeMarco on the ball. He's got some opportunity inside. Low on potential, one last chance. Nothing happens. Argentina on the attack. De Paul over the top. Fernandez. What a block that was. Federico Chiesa here in the 100th minute. He's got a very good chance. Chiesa goes for goal. What a save. And there we go. The game, well, full time is up as we go into penalties. Berea has got the first penalty as he steps up against Martinez, and he does slot it home. Dybala on the ball. Yet again has put it in the back of the net. Come on, we step up yet again. Nice. As long as you just keep scoring, I'm happy. McAllister up against Donnarumma. Oh, he sent it the wrong way. Fratesi here. Please, Martinez is very good at stopping penalties, but not that one. Fernandez up against Donnarumma. He's went the right way, it's just not the right area. Come on, the most important one. Chiesa, you've got to score, and he has. What a penalty. Lautaro Martinez, we need to save one of these at one point. We just can't. Keeper's not quick enough there. Come on, Ravella, please score this. Nice, that's nice. Donnarumma, if you ever need to come through clutch, now's the time. And there we go. He has done it. Big Donnarumma has managed to make the save on their last penalty, as he's actually made Italy win the World Cup. And there we go, of course, the biggest trophy of Federico Chiesa's career, and what a turnaround he has had, managing to get up to a ridiculous 95 overall, of course winning a stupid amount of trophies with Liverpool, managing to replace Mo Salah, and of course winning the World Cup with Italy. I would say Federico Chiesa's career has been well and truly saved.